moving along, still staying on the local scene. From one retired goalkeeper to a goalkeeper that is inactive at the moment, and we hope that he gets a club. Ikesho Rumu has warned Nwabali that he stands to lose his spot in the Super Eagles if he does not get a club. Quoting Ikesho Rumu now, Ikesho Rumu believes that Nwabali long spell without a club is becoming a major problem, especially at the time that the Super Eagles coach Chelle is rebuilding the national team for the 2027 AFCON qualifiers. Nwabali has been without a club since February, and after unexpectedly ending his stay with South African side Chippa United, a move William Sekong, delivered, a move that William Sekong did not, agree with. The decision shocked many football followers because it came shortly after he had helped Nigeria secure a third place. Nwabali is already 30. He doesn't have a club at the moment. If you look at the pattern of what Chelle is trying to build, the average age of our national team is coming down. And the reason for that is not far-fetched. Most of the players he's bringing in, they are very young players. Remember, one of the few things like Chelsea said was that he has over 300 players across the globe that are Nigerian descent or that originate from Nigeria that is scouting. And if you look at the recent inclusion in our national team, their age bracket is between 20 and 25. And this is bringing down, the average age of the national team. If you look at the goalkeeping position, there's an Atubolu for Freiburg that is basically chased. Otto Okonkwo has made an appearance for the Super Eagles. Maduka Okoye is making a return. So with all this in place now, do you think Nwabali still has an opportunity in the national team if he gets a club, owing to the fact that yes, Nwabali in the goalpost for Nigeria got us a silver medal, got us a bronze medal. I mean, he has been part of the Super Eagles, and he has achieved. Yes, he has not won gold, but he has won something for the Super Eagles, and that speaks to his reliability a bit. Do you think he still stands a chance if he gets a club today to make his way back into the national team?
Oh well, before I answer that question, I think I read somewhere that he's in Saudi Arabia and trying to get a deal with an unnamed Saudi Arabia club at the moment. I really hope that it works out for him because he is a fantastic shot stopper. I know that sometimes, based on his footwork and all of that, Nigerians might be
No,
jittery and all
he
of that.
has a terrible footwork. Let's just put it out there.
Exactly. Funnily enough, I don't remember him committing any error to go. I don't remember. I don't remember. I'm not saying maybe it did not happen. No, I'm just saying that right now I do not remember him committing any error to go right. It shows. And another thing is you can see it's just like the Yasin Bono of Morocco. Very fantastic shot stopper. He seems penalties very well. We were right at the cusp of glory. Do you understand what I'm saying? For the last two AFCON editions, and Nwabali was pivotal to all of that success. So it's not that we want him to now leave the national team. He's one of the best keepers ever that Nigeria has produced after Vincent Eyama. Obviously, nobody has been able to get to that level of Vincent Eyama yet, but he's one of our best goalkeepers out there. Now, the thing with Nigerians and football, I want to say this, is that we use a lot of emotions, and that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. But if you watch top managers, ruthlessness is one of their attributes.
That's true. That's true.
You even as a leader, you have to be ruthless. You have to show that this is the path, whether you like it or not. I'll give you a very good example. I'm a huge Arsenal fan. If you've been following us, you know that already. Ramsdale was a fan favorite. I still love Ramsdale till date. I still love
True.
Ramsdale. Ramsdale was a fan favorite. Guess what Ateta did? Ateta said, we are getting to a level where Ramsdale will not be able to, compete at anymore.
And the funniest part is the previous season before Ateta got rid of him, he was very fantastic for Arsenal.
He was the goalkeeper of the season. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
He was the goalkeeper of the season. You now go to Brentford. You got on David Raya. Can you imagine that? That from nowhere, you brought on David Raya. And of course, he's going to suffer a lot of backlash and whatnot. It's just like Portugal's match against Croatia. Why did you take out Ronaldo? And all of a sudden, he paid off. That's the thing. That ruthlessness. Coaches must have it. The reason why we are even having this conversation about Nwabali to an extent, when the coach has already said that if you are not actively playing for a club, he will not use you, is because over the years, we have been used to the fact that players that don't even play for clubs, we call them to the national team and they still play.
That's true.
And they still play. But if you look at what Eric Chelle is doing now, he is turning the tides around. He's making you know that you have to be an active player. You have to be an active player. Again, look at top teams in the World Cup that is ongoing at the moment. Look at France. Even a Ryan Cherki, he know they play.
True. True.
He
True.
know they play.
True.
That's what I'm saying. You have to be ruthless and you have to stand by your decisions. And that's why we say that, you know what, Nwabali just has to find a club. He has to play actively. If you're not playing actively, let me ask you now. If you're not playing actively, you now have a resurgent, let me use the word, a resurgent Maduka Okoye, who, beyond the fine boy aesthetics now, has actually proven that he's a good goalkeeper. I mean, in the last matches that we saw, none of the goals that he conceded was any of his fault. There's nothing he could have done with any of those goals that he
True.
conceded.
True.
The shots that he had to save, he saves them and all of that. Do you understand? You now have an Ato Okonkwo that is also a very, very fine goalkeeper. A very fine goalkeeper. Obviously, he has not gotten to his peak yet. He's still very young. He's still going to play more games. He's still going to, all of that. You now have Nwabali. Yes, tested, trusted, proven, but he's not active. You won't sideline Maduka Okoye that is keeping in SerieA. You won't do that.
But a lot of people have made the case that, and I'll give an example. I was on a panel a couple of weeks ago, and we had a whole lot of discussion lined up, but we ended up talking about Nwabali and Okoye for over 1 hour. That we got into a big argument and the rest of that. The argument has always been Nwabali is tested and trusted.
Yes,
Mind you,
yes.
at the time that he went to the last Nations Cup, Chippers United, we were battling relegation, as at that time Nwabali has conceded 80 goals with Chippers United. However, he was one of the good goalkeepers in the Nations Cup and got Nigeria to the semi-final to the semi-final. However, the question is this: even with these goalkeepers that we are seeing, are they at the level of Nwabali to be able to nail down the number one shirt? Since Enyama retired, it seems Nwabali has been the kind of stable goalkeeper that we have. Are those goalkeepers going to measure up?
Oh well. We would not have had Nwabali if Maduka Okoye also did not fumble in the previous World Cup, in the 2021, I think, World Cup. Yeah.
And the 2021 Nations Cup.
2021 Nations Cup, that shot against Tunisia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Maduka Okoye I said Maduka Okoye, Nwabali is tested and trusted. To now ask if Maduka Okoye is at that level is actually funny because Maduka Okoye has also been at the Nations Cup, right? Maybe we did not get so far with him, but he's also been at he's also been at the Nations Cup. That's the truth. If we were not at that level, we would not have been at the Nations Cup. And whether you like it or not, Udinese, maybe not one of the top 10 teams in SerieA, will always be a top side compared to Chippers United or
That's very true.
any South African. That's the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So to now see that there's no keeper at that level is no. Maduka Okoye is obviously at that level. And as we said, he's resurgent. He has found his feet, or he seems to have found his feet. Right? Now, what I'm saying is, see, Nwabali needs to be active. He has to be active because the coach that we have now, he has already put it out there. See, let me tell you something. He has to be active because now we need to know how best you can thrive, how best you can continually thrive in that particular position. This is not a case of, oh, I have proven myself once, let me give a very good let me give a very good example again. Maybe it did not turn out well for them, which was not any of his fault, anyways. But let's give another example. Julian Nagelsmann and Manuel Neuer.
True,
Manuel Neuer already retired. Already,
true,
he has said
true.
he has hung up already. But Nagelsmann said, "Baba, now you I want. Now you I want." Look at Ancelotti and Real Madrid. Lunin, when Courtois was injured, was the one keeping up. He got to the finals. He said, "No,
I want Courtois back.
I want
I
Courtois.
was even angry on his behalf.
I want." See, that's and look at the number of saves that Courtois made in that final against Dortmund.
True,
That's what we're saying. So it's not a case of, oh, we don't want you to play with the national team. Who would want to say that about Nwabali in the first place? Because to be honest, as we have mentioned, no keeper, has come close to a Yama like Nwabali has. That's what we're saying, right? But then again, we just need you to be active, brother. We need to know that you can continually thrive in that position because football as it is now is fast changing.
true.
Fast changing. The technology, the pace, they can leave you behind in a split second. They can leave you behind in a split second. So we need to know that you are active. The best goalkeeper in the world, David Raya, is not even keeping for his team.
Well,
He's not
that's
even
true.
keeping for his
You have
he's not
Unai
even,
Simon in goal, while De Vrij is on the
and
bench.
this is someone that has proven himself over and over. Do you understand what I'm saying?
18 clean sheets in the EPL is no joke.
He has proven himself over and over and over. What else do you want him to do? Right? So just that ruthlessness is what coaches need. And for Nwabali, he just needs to get back. He just needs to get a team. I really hope that he gets a team. I am really praying for him that he gets a team. And as I said, I think there are news that he's in Saudi Arabia to be able to talk with one or two clubs over there. And I really, really hope that it works out for him eventually.